Hello and welcome to Wednesday Wisdom. Elizabeth Rose here, and so excited to be with everyone today to talk about creating a dream board. What does it look like to have something beautiful that represents your goals and dreams that is in a prominent place in your home, maybe in your office, maybe a place that you work or a place that you like to visit often, maybe even a man cave if you're a guy and you just want it out there hidden somewhere, but you can remember those goals and dreams that you have. So what I want to do is get started by sharing that everything I talk about today, I created in a blog just a few days ago. So that blog is up on my website, which is lifewithrose.com, and click on the blog tab. I'm actually going to pull that up for us here today because I want to use some of the wording from that and just kind of show you guys some of the photos and things that I think will be an encouragement as we get started. But first off, can we get, I want to get some conversations started. I'm curious if anyone on here on Zoom or on Facebook has actually done a dream board before. So go ahead and write in the chat if you've done a dream board, if you're familiar with it, anything like that. So let me know, write something in the chat if you've done a dream board, because this is really cool. 2 weeks from now, on, I believe it's the 18th or the 19th, let me see, of February. So 2 Wednesdays from now, we are going to do part 2 of this, which is February 16th, actually. Come back on because we're going to do part 2 of the dream board. And what I want us to do is take what we're talking about today, go and create your own version of a dream board. And then I want us to show each other our dream boards in 2 weeks. How does that sound? There may even be a prize. If I'm going to do it. I'm just going to say there's going to be a prize. Mother and I, Terry Seacrest and I talked about it last night, and she goes, "Oh my goodness, we should give something away for whoever has the coolest looking dream board or like puts a lot of effort into it, or has some great ideas behind it." So it doesn't even have to look the best. I know mine is pretty put together, but let's do a dream board contest in 2 weeks, and I will decide what the prize is, and we'll be giving some things away, because isn't it fun to work on our dreams and then be challenged by those that we love, and so we can kind of be accountable to each other today. So I'm checking the chat. Christina says absolutely, and then Lori Marino says years and years ago. Oh my goodness. So Lori, would you want to pull out your dream board and revamp it? That'd be awesome. Let me go over here to Facebook. I want to see if we've got some Facebook comments going on. And I'm not, okay, yes. Kathy Bennett said, never made one, need to make one. Oh my gosh. So Kathy, 2 weeks from now, you can show us what you created on your dream board, okay? Because we are going to do this again. Now let me go ahead and share my screen. We're going to go over to my blog and check it out, because here we go. I want you to see this. Turn your dreams into reality, how to create a dream board. So, the interesting thing is that putting something visually on a wall in front of us, like creating our dream board, is one of those things that it's not just, oh, let's do it today and then forget about it. I truly believe that when you go through this process of creating a dream board, that it does something to your mind. It does something in your brain. It actually triggers your brain and it triggers your emotions to start releasing those feelings of excitement and of happiness and just joy and hope. I think hope and joy go very closely together. And, with that, it's this element of, and I'm hoping you guys can all see just my screen with the website. So let me know if there's, any interesting thing that you can't see here. So dun, 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 dun. I'm trying to get my screen all nice and organized so it looks right. We cannot. Okay, Christina, you can't see. Let me see. Okay. I'm gonna do a start sharing again, and I'm just gonna share my entire desktop. And let's do it that way. Okay, so I'm guessing now you can hopefully see my entire desktop and the website. If for any reason there's a glitch, let me know. but here we go. So just getting back to this element of what does it do emotionally when we start thinking through our dreams, kind of like this gal in the photo. This isn't me. I wish I was there, but it's this representation of like when we are dreaming, we kind of feel like we're on top of the world. We feel like things are possible. Life is possible. Like the things that you thought, oh, I wish I could live in a specific place, have a specific vehicle, travel to a specific place. When we start dreaming, this thing is triggered in our mind to kind of think, oh my goodness, this is possible. And I truly believe, here's the beautiful thing. When it comes to dreaming, I believe that it's powerful to dream with our creator. And I'm going to talk a little bit about Jesus today and a little bit about God today, because thankfully, since from such a young age, my parents, just encouraged me to read the Bible. They encouraged me to seek out scripture. And so that has actually been kind of the foundation for me knowing like my identity. And as we're talking about our dreams, we have to know our identity. There's a lot of folks out there in the world that don't dream. Maybe they grow up in a certain neighborhood in a lesser income part of town. And so that's what they know. And they can't dream outside of that. And then of course we see amazing examples of people that have risen out of that. And they've gone on and done so much. Maybe they're movie stars, actors, they're musicians, they're CEOs of a big company. I mean, there's people that didn't graduate from college or even get a GED that now are doing absolutely amazing things in the world. And it's all possible, I believe, because they harness the power of dreaming. So let me get to some of the script here in this blog, and I just want to make sure that I'm kind of covering everything. But let's check out here. So when you think of your life 5 years from now, what does it look like? As we go through today, how about grab a sheet of paper and write down some notes? And of course, you can go back to this blog maybe, but use this as you're creating your dream board and just ask yourself, where do I want to be 5 years from now? What does my life look like? And what's beautiful is you might have a dream that is just 1 year from now or 6 months from now. Young Living, as we know, is doing this amazing rise to silver, or rise to rank. And so this is something that many of my team members are going to be going for. And if you are trying to reach a new rank in Young Living, I would put that on there. 6 months from now, I want to be a silver or an executive or a gold or a platinum or a diamond. And it is possible with work and by doing those actionable steps. So whatever you're 6 months out, a year out, 5 years out, write that down and answer questions like, where will you be living? What will you be doing? Who will be the people that you're surrounding yourself with? Because as we know, there's a famous quote out there, and it says that you become like the 5 people you spend the most time with. So if you are spending time with people that just every Friday night, they want to go to a party and go dancing, and then on the weekdays, they work like a job that maybe they're not inspired by, so then they gripe about it on the weekends. That may not be the kind of person you want to spend your weekends with, because chances are your brain is going to go where theirs is and not be excited for the week ahead. You need to be surrounding yourself with and be a dreamer, and encourage your friends and your family and your coworkers to be dreamers, because those are the people you want walking alongside you as you are going through life and accomplishing your dreams. There's something so powerful in just bouncing ideas back and forth. So I would even encourage you to find one person that also wants to do their dream board, and you guys go ahead and do it together. Wouldn't that be so fun to just create your dream boards together, and then maybe invite them on the call in 2 weeks. So, so as we kind of talked about, as far as where should your dream board go, think of where in the house you'd like to put it. If you maybe don't have a wall, you could take a picture off of a wall and kind of designate that as your wall. Think of your office, Think of a closet if you really want it to be discreet, like we talked about, a man cave, something like that, that just you can go to every day. And I encourage you, make yourself go and look at your dream board every day. Make yourself go and look at every single picture, every single word that you put on there, because that again is going to trigger your brain to want to work towards that and for those things to be drawn to you that you dreamed about. So just like, oh my goodness, this is my dream, okay? I want a royal blue F-150. And I'm talking about new, maybe not first year new, but like slightly used royal blue F-150. That is on my dream board right up there, right there, right there. And so if you have something specific, when you think of it, find that photo. And we're going to talk about where to actually find your, the photos and things. So you can find them in magazines. You need magazines and you live close, come to my house. I have an entire shelf like this full of magazines from over the years. And I'm talking things like bridal magazines, like house magazines, realtor magazines, cooking magazines. There could be something as simple as, I want to learn how to make really good pasta. I want to make homemade pasta and I need to learn how to make my own fettuccine sauce. That's a cool dream. Grab a nice picture of a table with a plate of fettuccine Alfredo on there and go homemade. Because we can have little dreams and we can have big dreams. And I think it's important to achieve those little dreams as we are on the way to bigger things. So, and I did touch on this element of action. So, when it comes to dreaming, a dream is nothing without action. And honestly, dreams are kind of just like fluffy clouds floating around in the air. They make you feel good when you think about them, but then it's not until you actually put action to those dreams and make steps towards them that you're going to achieve it. The crazy thing is, for instance, like if you are imagining you want to go to a foreign country, let's just say Italy. I love Italy. I've been there 3 times maybe. And no, probably like 5 times. Like I've gotten deja vu in the airport in Rome. So crazy. But if you dream of going to Rome and you cut out photos and you tell all your friends about it, and then you get to be like 99 years old and you've never bought a plane ticket to Rome, Italy, chances are it was just this idea that floated around in the sky and made you feel happy, but you never achieved it. And I don't want any of us to do that on here. If you have a dream, no matter how big or small, it's possible. And just ask yourself, like, what tugs at your heartstrings? And then go through that process. What I would encourage as well is we'll be looking through, magazines. You can go online. You can, just do a Google search. I use DuckDuckGo. Do a search for photos that like really represent what you're looking for. Yes. Okay. Christina Campbell, you raised your hand. Let me go ahead and see if I can.
I'm unmuted.
Oh, okay. Hey, what's going on? Yes.
Yeah, no, I just, and you didn't have to not share your screen.
Oh,
I was just listening to Mary Young, and she was talking about the dreams that Gary had. In fact, I just put a YouTube link in there. And, sometimes people don't know where to start to find that dream, Elizabeth.
Yeah. Yes.
And in fact, let me, so you can see me. So they don't know where to start. They don't have a dream. They don't, and they may even use, self-criticism, like, I'm not creative and I don't have any vision and I don't know where I'm going and all those kinds of things. And it's okay to be in that space.
Yeah.
But, you were talking about, how you were brought up with the Bible and how that you identify with, God. And that is exactly where Gary got his visions and his dreams.
Yes.
He would go to the mountains. So if you are at a place where you can't put anything on a board yet, because you don't have a clue where you're coming from right now,
Yeah.
then this is the time to, you know, take a walk in nature. Take, you know, you can call it prayer or meditation, it doesn't matter, but go into that space. Use Dreamcatcher at night. And
Ooh,
we
yeah.
talked about this last week. And the thing about Dreamcatcher is if you get bad dreams from Dreamcatcher, then Gary would always say, keep using it until you cleanse and purge that and get clarity on what it is that you want. So I just kind of wanted to back up a step. I don't, you know,
No, I love it. I love it. That's
yeah, okay.
great.
So I'll take down my hand now.
Christina, thank you. That was such a great tip to add for sure. And I love your energy. I love your years of experience, because one thing I can say about you is I know you've helped a lot of folks dream over the years. And you have a lot of team members that have gotten where they are because they've decided to dream. And loved your class last week on Wednesday Wisdom about the seventh heaven. So if anybody on here did not attend Wednesday Wisdom last night, go back to the Royal Dream Team page and watch it, because Christina did an amazing presentation on that. Yeah. And this is something I didn't really go deep into as far as in the blog, talking as far as identity and kind of getting out of that slump, but I'm glad you touched on it, Christina, because yeah, there may be somebody that goes, I don't even know. Like I've talked to so many high school juniors and seniors recently that say, I don't know. It's like, I want to go to college. I think that's what I'm supposed to do, but I'm not sure what I want my degree to be. And I've got older friends that are in college, and it's really hard right now because in 2020, how many of you know that kids that were supposed to graduate from college didn't even get to walk the stage because of this grandiose thing that's been happening in the world? And I won't even say the name of it, but you know what I'm talking about. So we are in a time in the world where dreaming is so important, because if you don't dream, someone else will dream for you. And if anybody wants to raise their hand and chime into that, we just are in this time, in this place where we need to be the ones creating our lifestyle. And not just even our lifestyle though. I don't want you to think small. Like for me, one of my questions now is, okay, God, I've got my dreams. These are kind of my things, but what is the bigger picture of what's going on in the world right now? And how can I actually be a blessing in that? And I'm talking bigger than I could ever dream of or imagine. So the word that I kind of coined for this year for myself is unexpected blessings. And it just came to mind because honestly, 2020 and 2021 for me was really rough. I rarely say this because life, like I'm joyful and happy and bubbly and all that kind of stuff. But oh my goodness, 2021 like threw me a massive curveball in many different areas. And I just had it actually caused this kind of reset in my life where I just literally hit the reset button. And I'm like, okay, from this moment on, I am not going to do things in the same way that I did them yesterday and last month and last year. So you may even find yourself throughout this process realizing that you need to hit the reset button on a few elements of your life, or just life in general, and start to create those habits that are going to allow you to step into like the next season of your life. So using essential oils, like Christina mentioned, absolutely fabulous. Write in the chat, you guys, what single oils and blends can you think of that you would use while you're creating your dream board? So I would think like highest potential. Christina Campbell said Dreamcatcher. Donald Tuman said Valor. I would say Into the Future. Oh my goodness, there's so many good ones. Harmony, Joy, Abundance. Those are all some good ones I'm thinking. Rose, Rise Above, Rise Above, awesome. And then Lori Marine said Abundance, Merino. Awesome. I'm not looking at Facebook right now, you guys, so sorry, but keep writing in the chat what you would use as you're going through your dream board. Awaken, Christina Campbell said awaken. Yes. And honestly, as we know, and then Gary's Great Day Protocol, Ellen Miller said that. I also have a blog about Gary's Great Day Protocol, so check that out if you need to know like how to use those oils and apply them each day. Really the blends from Young Living do just exactly what their name is. If it's awaken, well then imagine that you are waking up your mind to the possibilities of life, okay? And or maybe you wake up in the morning and you're one of those people that just gets sluggish in the morning. I've been that way the last month or two. Sometimes when life just kind of like wham, you want to lay your head on the pillow at night and you don't want to wake up the next morning. So some of these emotional oils have been really helpful for me recently to just make sure that I don't get in a slump and don't stay down in a slump. So Awaken is one that is on my nightstand. Another one is Hope. Hope actually goes in my diffuser at night. I turn it on about 30 minutes before I go to bed and let it run for an hour. And then in the morning, as soon as my alarm rings, I go and I turn it back on. And so I just kind of do some prayers and get the day started with hope. And that is beautiful. I want to read Donald's. He said valor, because sometimes when we don't have a dream, it's from not trusting and having the courage to go for our dreams. That is powerful. That's powerful. Sometimes we lose hope. Whatever has happened in life or the personal paradigm that we have, our paradigm is like the glasses that we're wearing that we see life through. And as you know, I mean, you could have sunglasses that just take out a little bit of the light. You can have really dark sunglasses. You can have rose-colored sunglasses. You can have ones that are color-enhancing sunglasses. So imagine and ask yourself as you're going through this process, like what glasses am I looking through? What is my personal paradigm that I believe about life? Because the things that happen to us throughout life create that paradigm. How people treat you, the kind of jobs you've had, I mean, where you live, your faith, the books you read, the music you listen to. No joke, everything that is constantly coming at us, the ads we see on TV, the shows that we watch, it subconsciously does go to actually create that paradigm. And for instance, like if you get a new bicycle and you're just bump, 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 going down the road, there's a big rock in the middle of the road and you can't swerve fast enough, you hit the rock and you fall off your bike. Well, your brain's going to go, bad idea. Next time I see a rock, I really need to dodge it because you don't want to get in the wreck again. The same thing happens when we're in relationships with a best friend and we tell them something and they have this reaction. And that reaction is maybe like a negative reaction, or they're scolding you for something, or they're telling you you're not good enough, or you just need to suck it up and get over it. I mean, some parents say that, suck it up and get over it. Or why did you get a B on this test? I mean, good job on all the other A's, but what's with the B? What's with the A minus? I know so many kids that their entire life has been affected by the paradigm that they were looking through in their high school years when their parents didn't agree with their grades or approve or encourage them. You know, when they would get good grades, they were focused on the negative, focused on those little things they didn't do good enough. So if you're somebody that, you know, has grown up in life and you just didn't ever feel like you were good enough, I would also say now is the time to shed some of that. Because in order to achieve your dreams, it does not work to have that looming over your head of, I'm just not good enough. I just don't think I can do it. I don't think my friends will believe in me. I don't think my family will believe in me. As supportive and as awesome as my family and parents are, there's definitely things that I've done even recently that that I just didn't know if they would be like supportive of. And so I just did it anyways. And then I told them once it was done. And then I got the congratulations. And it was like, wow, oh my gosh, I never thought you could do that. That's amazing. Way to go. So sometimes it can be a journey that you go on your own that you don't always have to bring others along with you on. And if they're kind of the doubting Nancy, that this, oh, well, I don't know, honey. Well, how long is that going to take to save up for your next trip? Is that the person you want advising you on your next travel itinerary? Is that doubting Nancy that's going to go, well, is it going to take you 5 years to save up for your plane trip to Italy? It may. It may. For some of us, we have to get on a budget and we just have to work out that long plan. Okay. But at the same time, just know that dreams aren't impossible. And you need to know so deeply in your heart that it's something that you want to do, that you just do it. And Christina mentioned that about Gary Young, which is so powerful. I mean, Gary went down to Ecuador, bought a piece of land, bought a farm. But the thing was, when he took Mary down there, and he's up on one hill and he's like, Mary, guess what? Look over there. See, from that hill over here to that hill, this is the land I bought. Honey, it's going to be our farm and it's going to be amazing. And here's what we're going to grow on it. And she's like, Gary, I can't see any dirt. It's trees. What are you thinking? Like, why did you buy this land? Because the thing is our farm in Ecuador, when Gary bought the land, was like a forest. He had to actually clear everything off of it, build the distillery, clear the fields, balance the pH of the soil, water, power, all those different things. And aren't we glad that he had the foreknowledge and the paradigm, those glasses to look through and go, wow, that's a cool piece of property. That's going to be our farm one day. Instead of just, well, I'll find 5 acres over here that's already been cleared and I'll plant something in there. No, now we have hundreds of acres and I'm so thankful. So this dreamers, I truly believe fuel, fuel tomorrow. So I just want to encourage all of us to be a dreamer, and let's us be the ones that actually create what the world looks like tomorrow. And that may be so much out of your train of thought right now. You're like, tomorrow and everybody else in the world, screw that. I just need breakfast on the table tomorrow. I need to get out of bed before 9 a.m. and I need to put some makeup on. Or guys, I need to comb my hair. That's okay. That's realistic goals too. Don't dream bigger than you're capable of right now, but dream big and live your dreams. Okay, I'm going back to the comments here for a minute. Okay, Donald said, let's see. Okay, so then motivation and peppermint. And how about transformation? Oh, transformation. Didn't think of that one. Amazing. The smell of it. Here's another thing. You're going to be drawn to what you need to use. You might be drawn to the name of it. You might be drawn to the smell of it. You might just want to hold it in your hand and go, is this something I need right now? And let your body tell you. Transformation, when I first smelt it, I loved it. I have loved it ever since. When I opened transformation, like, I know it's not a vitality oil and I don't actually take it internally, but it's one that my body just is like, give it to me now. So I have this like, oh my gosh, I wish I could just drink it, but don't recommend that again. But it's just one of those things. Let your body, let your brain, when it resonates with an oil, let it tell you what it needs, because it knows. It knows what you need for the breakthrough. And the beautiful thing about using essential oils is that when they are inhaled, in just a few seconds, they reach the amygdala part of the brain, which is like the librarian of the brain. And so anytime you've experienced emotion throughout your life, that part of the brain actually goes and it kind of says, oh, it's this kind of emotion. It's this. And it goes and it stores it on the shelf where that book of emotion goes, right? But the thing is, it doesn't just store it all in your brain. It goes and it stores that emotion all throughout your body. Every organ of your body, even just parts of the soft tissue of your body, is storing emotion that you have received throughout life. And this is a powerful thing because there's a book by Louise Hayes and it's called Heal Your Body. And she has a beautiful chart in there. But what it does is that she actually lists emotions and then basically like where they end up in the body and different diseases that they're linked to. So there's like a whole category of diseases and what emotion is linked with that, or certain pain, like a certain area of your spine, what it's going to be linked to. And when I saw that book, it blew my mind, totally blew my mind. So interesting. So check it out. It is Heal Your Body by Louise Hay. Now, again, because I do look through this paradigm of I judge things according to what does scripture say about it, and does it align with the Holy Bible? And that's just one way that I, make sure I stay on this good foundation and a good baseline. So you've probably heard the phrase, eat the fish, spit out the bones. And so there's going to be some teachings, some books, some authors that I learn from. But depending on what their paradigm is, I'm not going to just soak in everything and make that my belief system. I have my belief system, and we need to have that strong belief system. But what we do with like looking at Louise Hay's book is just read it, go through it, pray about it, meditate about it, and go, does this resonate with my spirit? And, I pray and I'm like, Jesus, is this something, is this a way that you created our bodies to function? Is this a way you created the earth to function? And if that resonates with me and I get a yes in my spirit, I go, okay, this is knowledge. This is wisdom I need to hear. So that is just kind of one way to actually test what you're reading and what you're learning. I know this sounds like we're getting off of the dream board idea, but this really is just all about dreaming and getting in that right headspace. So let me go ahead and share my screen again.
Elizabeth?
Yes.
Hi.
Hey, Beth, please share something with
Good
us.
morning. Since you were on books, and I'm sorry, I've got my shutters open. I apologize. It's kind of blinding you guys out. But since you mentioned a book, may I suggest one
Sure.
that I've actually had a lot of the CEOs that I work with when they're stuck, and I've done a mastermind around the book by Brene Brown called The Gifts of Imperfection.
Oh.
And when you talk about dreaming and maybe the past that raises its ugly little head with us sometimes,
Yes.
it is truly exceptional in understanding, I like to say, carving out who you really are unencumbered by those external things, giving yourself forgiveness,
Yes.
becoming vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
You have to do the work. You spoke about, the actions, but I cannot recommend that book highly enough for both men and women. This, I did a mastermind on it, and people who are psychologists, one was in with the group, and they're like, I can't believe I didn't read this before.
Wow.
So I don't want to give anything else, but you can go on Amazon and read a couple pages. It's downloadable, I believe, if you prefer listening to it. But I just wanted to make that recommendation as a really great way to leading to figuring out what your dream is and letting go of the past.
Thank you. Thank you, Beth. Does anybody else on here have a book that you'd like to recommend? Feel free to write it in the chat. Feel free to just, write it in the comments or jump on and unmute yourself and share. Let's see, who is the author of the book, The Gift of Imperfection? Beth, if you could just write in the chat who the author was. I wrote the book title, but I forgot the author as you were saying.
Sure, Brene Brown, I'll put it in there.
Okay, awesome. Brene Brown. Cool, very cool. Thanks for sharing that. So let me get back to here because, okay, so dun, 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 dun. Here's a few quotes in here, you guys. One is, you can go faster alone, you can go farther together. And does that ring true to you? Have you experienced this in your life yet? You know, think of the people you desire to do life with. And it could be a spouse, it could be family members, good friends, business team, adventure buddies, ministry, missionary group. What shared interests and dreams do you have in common with those people? So let this be part of your dream board as well, is think of those people. I would encourage you, think of 5 people. Again, the 5 people we surround ourselves, we become like, and we also rub off on them, right? So who are those 5 people that you want to do life with, and maybe even share your dreams with? Even if it's one person that you share your dream board with and your dreams, and you just sit down and go, hey, can we have a cup of coffee? Because I've been doing this dream board exercise, and if you want to do it with me, awesome, but I want to share like what some of my dreams are. The interesting thing is, I know a woman in her 60s who has created a dream board, and probably had one for 15, 20 years. So many of the things on her dream board have come to pass. However, she hasn't shared it with many people. And, you know, I wonder if she had, would those people have kind of looking at her life and gone, oh my goodness, how can I have been more supportive of you? I didn't even know you had that dream. You wanted to write a book. I didn't even know you had a dream to write a book until I just saw that, you know, you had published it on Amazon. So some of us don't know how many of those around us actually want to encourage us in our dreams unless we reach out and actually tell them about it. So one of the things I am doing is I am writing a book. I have the first manuscript of it. I'm going through my first edit through right now. I'm going to add more content and then actually share it with friends, let them read it, give me their opinion. And this is just a close group of about 10 people. I think any writer would say you need someone to review your manuscript and really know that you're on target with your target audience and things like that. But that is not only because I want them to look at the book, but I want them to help me market it. And it is okay to talk to your friends and say, here's my dream. Can you help me market it? In Young Living, I'm going to apply this to our business right now. If you have a dream, you should tell your upline. And if you have a dream, you should tell your downline, especially tell your key leaders, or tell those people that are just getting started in their business and say, hey, I have a dream. By the end of this year, I want to help 6 business builders get started. I want to help them get to the rank of silver. And if you want to be one of those, let's do this journey together, right? How empowering is that for someone else to know your dream? Because then they're going to be your best cheerleader. They're going to want to ask you, how's it going? What level are you at? What step are you at? How can I encourage you, kind of a thing. If for some reason they come back and they're like, I don't know about that. Good luck. They don't need to be the person that's on your top 5 that is going to get you through this journey. They might be somebody that you just periodically check in with, or you tell them after the fact once you've done it. That's okay. So what a cool picture. This isn't mine, but I thought it was beautiful because if someone has a dream to travel, all these little pins are places they've traveled. So you may even have a pin board in your house that you do this with. I know my family has one. So when we go out of the country somewhere, we put a pin where we've been, and it's beautiful. Now, check this out. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So how are you going to plan to make some of your dreams happen? And then another one is, if you aim at nothing, you'll surely hit it. Okay. Now, with the last little remaining bit that we have, I want to just talk about time to create. We've talked about a lot about the mindset, what your dreams are, how to find those. So let's just go down to a list of things, a list of supplies that you need. And you've probably already thought of this, but you can do a cork board, something like this. And I just have the push pins and I just pin in the photos and things like that. You could even just do a poster board, like one of those really thick poster boards, and you could just tape your photos onto it. So then push pins, tape, glue, scissors, paper is kind of optional. If you're doing pictures, you might not need paper, but you could do white paper, colored paper, scrapbook paper. I'm going to take the computer closer to this here pretty soon and show you like what I've done. But what's cool is this is not totally revamped. So in 2 weeks from now, I'm going to have this revamped, and I look forward to sharing it with everyone. I look forward to seeing yours as well. So you could grab magazines, books, just anything that you can find good photos and even words and things like that. So a word, just a simple word. On mine, I have passion potential. It's hashtag passion potential. And I mean, that came to mind like 5 years ago. But what it symbolizes for me when I see it is that whatever my level of passion is, that is the level of potential I have for that thing. So for instance, next weekend, I'm singing a concert. It is a 2-hour concert. Thankfully, it's not like all eyes on me all the time. It's going to be a meet and greet, but people are going to be listening. So I have prepared 27 songs that I'm singing with background tracks, as well as probably about 10 to 15 songs I will play on the piano. And probably at least 5 or more of those songs will be original songs that no one has ever heard before. And I'm releasing them at this concert. It's not a big release because it's just a meet and greet. People might not even hear me say, hey, I wrote this song, but I am excited because I know that God has called me to be a musician and to share uplifting, encouraging, inspiring music that will bring people into their destiny. So music is something I do on the side, and there's a big old square of music right there. But passion potential, I had to up my level of passion for this concert. Why? Because life happens. Like I still have a business. Family just moved to town a few months ago. Friends want to get together. So I was like, okay, how am I going to force myself to practice music 2 hours a day for a month to be ready for this concert? And that might sound like a lot of practice, but I haven't done a concert like this in a long time. Some of those songs are ones I've sung for many, many years, but I've added a lot of new repertoire to it. And so that's like a massive, like a BHAG, big, hairy, audacious goal is to sing a 2-hour concert next Saturday. And, but I had to up my level of passion potential and just get excited and do things that like could help me envision being on stage, singing to everyone, who I'm going to meet afterwards, getting some of those congratulations. And I literally have sat and I've thought, okay, when a person hears this song, like One Moment in Time by Mariah Carey, and I think she sang it in Olympics. My thought is, what is a person going to think and feel? What emotions are going to come up as they hear me sing this song? What do I want to provide the crowd through this song? And it's been beautiful because when I can imagine myself in that moment, my level of passion rises, and then I'm even more excited to go and practice that song to make sure that I'm singing it the best I possibly can that day. So there's a real live example of it. And now, how about we open it up for any questions and answers or thoughts? I want to hear anyone's thoughts that you have as we close it up. We've got about 5 to 10 minutes or so, and then we will end this. But let me know right in the chat if you're planning on creating your dream board between now and next week, creating it, revamping it, whatever you need to do, because and invite a friend to join. I think that's going to be beautiful to have one person along with you on this journey. And we will all just jump back on here in 2 weeks and show our dream boards. So anyone want to talk? Feel free to unmute yourself.
I'm just going to say, this is Christina.
Hey.
I don't have any magazines, and I don't live next door to you, so I can't come over and use your magazines. And it's a shame. I was even actually went there thinking about I could drive down there, but we're right now experiencing a bad snowstorm, right? I mean, it's
coming in tomorrow, Thursday morning, Texas. Yeah. Texas is getting snow all day long.
But for those of us who don't have magazines, you can. Okay, so one of my goals, one of my dreams, is more than ever is to, I've been reading the Prayer of Jabez since the
Oh, yeah.
1st of January, and I want to enlarge my territory. So in order to do that, my goal is to inspire others. So what kind of pictures do you choose to inspire others? What I did was I Googled inspiring others is my goal. And I go to images and I can find all kinds of images. And you can print them off and, make cute little circles like you have, or, yeah, you're real good at that artistic stuff. But
most of these are printed from online, just so you know. So if you don't
yeah,
have magazines or you're looking for something super specific, like I want a horse that's this color and I want to ride it in a field and it's going to be amazing. So there's my picture.
there you go. There you go. Okay. So you got that. That's all I wanted to say.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, absolutely. Go online and print them out. If you don't have a printer, you could create like a Pages document or a Microsoft Word document. Grab your photos from online, put them on the document, and then send it to Office Max or something and have it printed. So it's absolutely possible. Now, granted, you guys don't have to do what I did of kind of sectioning things. You might have just like a little collage here of something, a little collage here, but I decided to grab scrapbook paper. And so for instance, let me just go over here to this one because this is one of my favorite squares. It actually does have to do with Young Living because of healing. And I don't know if this is backwards, if you guys can see it. But one thing I've learned over the years is that essential oils have a frequency, right? And they have amazing medicinal properties for the body. And so I think that healing along with frequency, which is sound, and sound can be music that we audibly hear. So this is mine as far as just the sound of music, the sound of praise. Next month, I am going to start renting a cello, and it's hard to see, but it's a gal playing a cello by the ocean. Dreamy, but hey, you know what? It could happen. This actually has happened. This is a beautiful performing arts center in Kerrville, Texas. And I got up on stage one day and had somebody take that photo behind me, but I've actually sung there in that 850 seat auditorium 3 different times in the last 2 years. And this is like me one day when I have family and kids and we're sitting around the piano all being super perfect and happy looking. But I want to teach my children music and have an appreciation for music. This is just sitting around a campfire doing music. But other things is like definitely traveling, having horses in a horse barn one day. I know this is far away, just a beautiful road, but this signifies a property. And here's my truck. So anywho, here's a little bit of what I've done because I've kind of put these squares together. This is love because I'm not married yet. I'm currently not dating anyone either. So if you know anybody you want to send my way that's potentially eligible, let me know. Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, and endures all things. Live every moment, laugh every day, and love beyond words. So, and then like, for instance, this one is all about health and fitness. So food is fuel. So this reminds me that what I put in my body as far as food and beverages is fuel. So does anybody else want to share any goals, any dreams that you're going to be writing about? Feel free to unmute yourself. Okay. The beautiful thing is too that once you accomplish something, you can keep it on there. You could even create a little section of things that you've already done as a reminder, like, oh my goodness, this is awesome. This has happened. Okay, now what's next? Or you could take it off and maybe put it, like I have just a Ziploc bag in my, I have a bin and it's like a memories bin. So things that I've done that are very memorable that I want to remember, I put them in that memory bin. And so anything that I've accomplished on my dream board, I take that photo off and put in the memory bin. Oh my goodness, Christina, you have a grandson. Would love to talk with him. That sounds awesome. Let's see. Why don't you offer music healing with oils? Now that's interesting. Okay, maybe we can chat about that more. If you can help me think through that. Um, Lori, I didn't know you sang and wrote songs. What? Yes, if you guys want to check it out, okay, go to ElizabethRoseMedia.com and you can, that is my music website. I have lots and lots of good music up there. Also on my lifewithrose.com website under the resources tab, I've started putting podcasts up there. And on my podcast, it's just Life with Rose. If you go to like the podcast app or Spotify, I'm on there. And so I'm starting to post doodling. I just sit down at the piano, I record it. It's totally impromptu, but I'm posting it on my podcast since I don't have social media right now. And so what I'm doing on my podcast, and this is something I dreamed of last year, and I'm going to add to my dream board because I want to post at least one podcast a year. Or not a year, a week. There's 3 categories. I'm posting music, I'm posting health for life as a category, and then life hacks. That's just anything to do with life. So every Monday night, I'm teaching a essential class, essential series. So we're doing Essential Oils 101. The next week is Ningxi Red. The next week is Thieves, and next week is supplements. So I'm teaching those 4 classes every month, once a month, for all my new people in Young Living to join. And what I'm doing is I'm taking the video and I'm putting it on YouTube, and I'm grabbing the audio and I'm putting it up on my podcast. So just so you guys know, those resources are available on my website, lifewithrose.com, under the resources tab. And I'm posting some of the music stuff up there as well. So yeah, awesome. Well, if anybody else wants to share, feel free to unmute yourself. Otherwise, we can wrap it up today, and I will see you back here in 2 weeks. Of course, next week will be awesome. I'm not quite sure who's presenting Wednesday Wisdom. All righty, let me run over to Facebook and just see what they are saying. Oh, Beverly says hi. Hello, Beverly. Oh, Katrina says, people and family members I want to help are also on my vision board. Oh my goodness, that is awesome. I didn't even think about that. But helping, serving, ways you can give, absolutely, that's so powerful, because our dreams aren't always about ourselves and what we can get. If we are actually giving and sharing, I don't know, I've just always, like, when I'm able to give, I feel like I receive more from giving than just trying to get from me, if that makes sense. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay. All righty, Katrina, yes, reviewing and updating my vision board. Love it. Love it. Mary, you're amazing. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and sign off today. So thankful for all the comments, and see you guys back here again in 2 weeks for your dream board. Check out the Royal Dream Team though, because I will post something about our little contest that we're going to do for those that bring and share their dream board. Alrighty, lots and lots of love.